This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. You don't really think you'll win, do you? I'm Batman.
You're listening to episode 129 of the Batman on Film podcast. My name is Justin Kowalski, and today we are going to have ourselves a little bat chat. With me today is my buddy, my pal, Mr. Ryan Haas, the sheriff of Twitter.
Oh, that's true.
The sheriff
Hey, did you
of
say
Twitter.
bat chat or bat cat? Because if it's bat cat, I'm leaving now.
Oh man, I actually have Jordan Valdez coming on for. No, I'm just kidding. We have just a bat chat. It's gonna be an kind of an unfocused conversation, but it'll be fun, just like talking with your buddies. But that is not all. We also have Mr. Pete Verra. How you doing, Pete?
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing this morning?
Contributor and Detective Comics lover. Man, I've been loving the new run of Detective Comics, FYI.
Yeah, Robinson's been doing a great job. It's
Dude.
probably it's rivaling the best the book's been, I think, since Rebirth.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Finally, adding
Detective work to Detective Comics.
Detective 8, right? And then finally, we got our good buddy Eric Holzmann. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing well. How's everyone doing this morning?
Suicide Squad reviewer as well. If you guys were wondering, like, why is he on here? Because he's part of what we do. Shoot.
I wonder about that every day, Justin.
Why is he on this show?
Just joking. Eric was on the very last. Everybody except Justin was on this. The last episode where we talked about Titans.
Oh man, I'm so bummed. I wish I could have been on that show because I had some Titans thoughts, but those have long been discussed and put out there, so you can hear those. But anyways, we're gonna be doing ourselves a little fun, just talking about some this and that's in the Batman world of news and information and stuff. But before we even get into that, if you love this show and you want the shows to come out more and you want us to do some more things, we'd love for you to join us and be a part of our Patreon over at patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. What you can do is you can sign up, contribute, and those contributions help us to do other things with the show. And you're not just joining us, you'll be getting stuff. So we have some cool stuff coming up. We got stickers and buttons and abilities to actually be on the show yourself. So we would love for you to join us over there and do that. And then another way you can help us out is if you go to the Apple Podcast store and leave us a review. 5 stars would be great. And then add with those 5 stars a nice little recipe of words, put those together, and then we will read those words on the air. So that'll be a good time. So that being said, let's just jump into the show. I did want to kind of just jump into some comics real quick. So Pete, you mentioned it. Detective has been like the best it's been in a while, right?
Yeah, Robinson is he recently just is coming off of Wonder Woman, which I found less than enjoyable, to be honest with you. So I was kind of nervous going into this.
Yeah.
Because he kind of gave Wonder Woman a brother, and the story was just weird and funky. And
no, Jeff Johns gave her a brother.
Was it? I feel like Robinson gave her a brother just recently.
That was in Rebirth. It was in Rebirth. Yeah, so I mean, this is probably...
And they picked it back up later.
Yeah.
And I did not enjoy it.
It was at the end of Justice League, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so basically I was kind of like, his stories were just like off. And I was like, wow, like I've never really not liked anything by Robinson, so it's been kind of funky.
Yeah, it's weird because Robinson's, he's kind of like known for
he's a
doing
big
some
name.
great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Golden Age, JSA, Starman, like the things that he's been a part of have all been great. And
he's written some good Batman stories in his day too. Like so, like, you get kind of excited, but then like recently you're like, oh man, like his work's not good. But it's like, okay, so you're kind of going into this questioning it. But he's really what he's done with Two-Face is really cool. He's made it. He's put, like I said earlier, he put the detective back in Detective Comics.
Yeah.
And
it's just
it feels like a classic tool. At one point it was like Friends, like it was more like a team book. I mean, Tynan made Detective a team book, and then Brian Hill did his story with Black Lightning and as a mentor, and that was kind of teamish. So this is taking him back to his more solo roots, to be honest.
Well, and this is only kind of a fill-in arc from Robinson too, because after he's done, we're gonna get Tomasi and Doug Monkey.
Which is interesting because I feel like Robinson's been jumping from book to book in like fill-in arcs, which is it's cool because you get a lot of him in different ways, but you do kind of like his long progression of a character.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been upset if he was going to be on the book if he had a good stint, a good run. But
I mean, well, you can't.
He would get some
Thomas
interconnected stuff.
And I love Tomasi, and I'm excited that he's going to be on the Batman.
And he is going to be on the book for the foreseeable future as long as he can muster. So I think that's good because he's done some really good work.
He's one of my favorites. Like, he is
most consistent like comic book writers. Like
his Green Lantern stuff, I enjoy a lot.
Oh, dude, Core,
his Superman, Super Sons.
Yeah,
Super Sons was good.
Batman and Robin.
He made that work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm excited for him and Doug Monkey, and I think Doug is going to be alternating with somebody else. I think it's Fernando.
That would make sense. Yeah.
His work.
It's still going to be twice a month.
And Detective 1000 is just around the corner, so I'm really excited about that. I mean, especially like just like what are they? Just seeing what they did for Superman and seeing the response that got, and
surely
just
they'll
all the
go
cool
all
stuff.
out for Batman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And just to be a part of that, to review that book that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to block you from reviewing that book, Pete. Sorry, man. That's that would suck, dude. He's like, I've been putting in the work. I'm detective.
Doing it. It's like, there's no Aquaman toy reviews for you, Justin.
We're gonna have Rick Shue review Detective 1000. Just joking, Rick. All right, so any other Batman comics you guys are into? I know a lot of us. We didn't really get to talk about too much about the Black Label Batman book, did we? Did we talk about that too much on the show?
No, we didn't.
We didn't talk about that. Anybody have any thoughts besides the Battle Wang?
I mean, it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's a good Batman
You can't
story,
really
definitely
go wrong with the Liebermejo art, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where it goes. Like if there's like a point to it. They're setting up a lot, and I think they're introducing even more characters in the next book.
Yeah, Harley's gonna be in it.
Yeah. The format's cool. I like the format, like the big magazine-sized book. That's pretty cool.
It's cool. I just don't have any bags and boards for it. It's like now I've got to buy like a package of like 40 of each.
I bought a pack of. It's funny because I bought a pack of like magazine bags and boards, and now and a box, and I'm using them more than ever for some reason because I got that, and I got like almost the full run of the Batman and Superman magazine from the 90s. Because I had those when I was a kid, and then I wanted to re-get them so I could like thumb through them again. So I got a bunch of those, and then Pete's got me on this freaking Roger Rabbit re-examination. So like I
like how I get blamed for this.
I know, like it's cool. So like there's the original book, there's a sequel book, and then there's a second sequel book that I just got, and I found out that like I guess in the early 90s, Marvel Comics did a graphic novel sequel to the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Roger Rabbit: Resurrection of Doom, and it's magazine sized. So I got that. And
did you have
the
any
magazine
idea there was
boards.
just like Robert Rabbit out there? Like, geez, there's so much content for him.
I
Believe
did.
it or not.
Well, I did, but I didn't. Know how big the rabbit hole went.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've had the game. I've had the book, the original book, some of the games like on the original Game Boy, and I do have a couple of comic books like Disney Comics did, like a short Roger Rabbit series. But I didn't know how much more that there was.
I don't think White Knight 2 is going to be in this format though. I think Murphy's fighting to keep it small.
Yeah, I think it's based on preference, to be honest. So I don't think it's going to be. This isn't the true format size for everything, so.
Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out to my comic book shop, Main Street Comics, who sold me the variant edition of Batman Damned like 2 weeks later at cover price. And so just throwing that out there, Main Street Comics in Milltown.
That's a good shop.
Not going to rob you.
He has two of them, guys. He told me. He has two of them, so we could jump him and steal one if we need to.
Nice.
Yeah. But,
let's take them. They probably, you know what? My assumption on that is you always go in there and buy a bunch of stuff, so they're probably like, "Yo, Pete's our guy." But if it was like anybody else,
I'm going in there frequently and buying books, but
Hey,
no,
Justin,
but Ryan's bought books at fair prices as well.
I
so
have,
he's a legit fair man.
Pete's got me into getting some comics from him, and I got some really nice vintage old issues. Like I got like the first appearance of the Matt Hagen Clayface and
nice
some stuff. Yeah,
some nice
stuff.
Golden Age, and even you got a Silver Age book or two.
Some Silver Age stuff, and I mean, there's some really good issues I got from him.
Yeah.
Justin, were we done talking about Roger Rabbit? You were asking me a question.
I was gonna say, this is really stupid. In the comics,
Satellite show.
I know. Hey, please.
Oh god.
Yeah. Did they use the Marvel not the Marvel, the Disney characters and the Warner Brothers characters in the comics? Like is Bugs Bunny hanging out in it?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know about that. I'll have to report back because I don't remember. Actually, I just have the comics.
The
I know. I have the comics, but I don't remember reading a bunch of them, so I don't remember like if they had all the different characters or if they kept it more like Toontown.
That was the coolest thing to me as a kid, is seeing Mickey Mouse and Bugs together.
It was a big deal.
When you think about that, like when people go, I wonder if DC and Marvel will ever cross over, and you're like, that's impossible. But you're like thinking, well, there's precedent with.
It's oh man, I should have done that meme when the whole like Kevin Feige stuff was like, Avengers is the most epic crossover ever achieved or whatever, and that could have been like, well, what about this? Showed him the Roger Rabbit with all the
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny.
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny shaking hands.
In Paris.
And there were some stipulations. There were stipulations in the movie where they had to be, they had to have exactly the same amount of screen time to the second or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they made the scenes like match.
Who do you prefer, Bugs or Mickey? Real quick.
Bugs.
I'm a Bugs guy.
Yeah. Mickey.
I like Disney, but
Mickey's.
Bugs Bunny.
Mickey Mouse is like the most boring character. Like, what's Mickey?
I love
he's
Mickey,
actually
I love
Mickey's like early Mickey. He was a trickster, dude.
I like Mighty Mouse.
He was.
Exactly.
Early Mickey had a lot in
Mouse.
common with Bugs, I felt like.
But Mickey Mouse, like right now, like Mickey Mouse does nothing for Disney. He's a T-shirt. Like there's no media.
Have you not seen the Mickey Mouse? Like, didn't they win like some awards?
90
that
years
cartoon
old or something now? He's some kind yeah, right?
Yeah, they're celebrating it.
Yeah,
Mickey sucks, dude. Like
he's 90 years old. What do you expect him to do?
Yeah, he's ears. You buy some ears at Disneyland, and that's
look up the new cartoon series, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey's ears never move, right?
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse
on screen.
No, it's just Mickey Mouse.
I mean,
it's like they revamped the art style and stuff, and it's people and you look it up.
I definitely prefer Looney Tunes more than to anything.
Exactly. I want my cartoon animals to drop anvils on each other.
The violence that Warner Brothers provided my childhood in Looney Tunes cannot be forgotten.
Well, the
because it led to
too,
Beavis.
Right?
It led me to like Ren and Stimpy, and then Beavis and Butthead.
Like you think about the snarkiness of the characters, especially Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
You a lot of us, our personalities are very much like that. So
Bugs and Daffy will go down in history, And
they didn't have to break out in obnoxious songs to like teach me about the riverbed and all that type of stuff, dude.
Don't go there, please. Don't go there. I had enough conversations about Disney princesses this week to last me my lifetime.
Oh my!
So don't
jeez,
go there,
Eric,
please.
What are you doing?
Man, Eric is cranky.
I could go into it if you want to, but it's really not a Batman topic.
No, we don't need to.
We've already gone off the rails.
I know we went into Roger Rabbit, so I'm going to take it back. So as we talk about Disney teaming up with Warner Brothers, let's see what is Warner Brothers doing. Hey, get it? What is Warner Brothers doing right now? So some of the news that's been out, we haven't been able to talk on air too much about it. Like there is the Birds of Prey stuff that's happening. We got Wonder Woman.
Got a bunch of casting for Birds of Prey.
Back. Yeah, a bunch of casting for Birds of Prey. We got some of the news about the Flash being pushed back as well. What are you guys' thoughts?
That's right. Well, I mean, every time the Flash gets pushed back, I'm that much more closer to thinking, this isn't going to happen, or it's going to be so different from the original, conception of what that film was or was going to be. Because think about how many directors it's been through, creative teams it's been through. So I just, it's just a Flash. No, it's Flashpoint. No, it's back to Flash again. Yeah. Now it's, and now it's, and it does make sense that it was delayed because they Warner Brothers is full steam ahead with Fantastic Beasts, and they're trying to get those movies out pretty consistently, like every 2 years.
Yeah.
So I guess the second one of those comes out in November, and they're going to start filming the third one like next year, which or later next year, which is when they would have to shoot the Flash earlier than that, because Ezra Miller is going to be in that, and because the script for the Flash, I guess, isn't ready yet. They can't interfere with Fantastic Beasts, so they're going to have to like wait until after that. So that just pushes everything out. Yeah. But it makes me think, like, just the more it stagnates, the more chances you have to have something interrupt or change the project again. I mean, just look at Suicide Squad 2, for instance.
Yeah. Well, for me, it makes total sense for them to push the flashback. And here's why. We already have some other properties.
Flashback?
Flashback.
That's the new title. There you go.
There we go. There's putting Flash on the burner makes sense in the sense that, okay, Fantastic Beasts is something that there's an end to it, right? And they can,
it's 5 movies. They know what they're doing. You have J.K. Rowling, like, that knows what she's doing, like writing the scripts. Like, those are going to be consistent. Yes. And it's one film series. It's not it's its own universe, but it's one film series, right? And that's it.
And it hasn't had any. It hasn't had a whole bunch of drama surrounding it. The Johnny Depp stuff.
Yeah, the Johnny Depp stuff.
Yeah, kind of pissed in general off. But and that was actually weird, really weird and questionable, to be honest. Like, what, you're gonna have the dude that got accused of beating up Mara? That, I don't know, not beating, but does he hit her? Is that, anyways?
Not Amber Heard, Mara.
Regardless, like, other than that, the movie has not too much controversy going around. There was a little bit of people going like, well, if you don't say so and so is gay in the movie, then you're trying to hide it, and all that was out last week. But it's pretty much unscathed. Like, Twitter will make anything scathed. So
comparatively, I would agree with you. Yeah.
But so
I mean, at least those movies are getting made. They're in production. Like, it's not like DC where it's like
there's a plan.
Oh, there's a plan.
There wasn't some turmoil after the first one. Like, we're gonna change everything. So right now, to put Flash, somewhere down the line further, like, let's figure out what we're doing right now. We'll bring Ezra Miller back, and we'll make Flash, whenever that needs to happen. At the same time, I kind of feel like they're low key. Let's see how freaking Aquaman goes over, and if Aquaman kills it, all right, we're doing Flash.
I lean more with you, Justin, because I feel like every time they get a new director or whatever, they just start from square one with this thing, because I don't think it never gets off the ground.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think there's ever been, like, I know Ryan was concerned that it might change from what it originally was, but I think that's already happened 3 times. So
yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, it clearly like, does change every time.
They start over with that movie every time. So
exactly.
Like, it'll fit into whatever DCEU exists, because that's just what it'll adapt to. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even know, like, what, I mean, at some point, Ezra Miller might just get fed up and say, I don't want to do this.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Like,
no, because...
What if after these Beast movies, he takes off?
But that's the thing. He's
a Warner Brothers kid, though, so, like, he may stay there forever. I
went to the Ace Comic-Con last year, and I saw him, just how much he loves playing the character. He really does love playing the Flash. So I don't think this is a project he's going to leave. And I tend to agree with Justin.
Well,
I do think they're waiting to see how Aquaman does. But for me, that means they're going forward with the Flash movie, because I think Aquaman's going to be great. So.
Oh yeah, me too.
Right. So I think that you're right. They're in a holding pattern. They're waiting to see, and it's smart to be that way because of what happened with Justice League and Batman vs Superman. I mean, there's a lot of stink on the brand right now, so it makes a lot of sense.
When trailers are coming out for BVS, were there a lot of people who were like iffy on it? I mean, I was high on it.
Yes.
Like, so okay,
Really?
okay, yeah. Like, so, like, for Aquaman though, like, I haven't heard anybody really be iffy on it. You know what I'm saying?
The first one people were, but this the 5-minute thing.
See, I haven't seen anything I haven't liked though. Like, it's all really
nothing to the clickbait crazy level that BVS was.
Right, like
after
BVS
that,
was like on a different level. It was okay.
Yeah.
I feel like all
you heard it.
The contention with BVS was when it came out, though. I think.
Remember when that one when the second main
Doomsday
trailer came
thing
out that had Doomsday in it, everybody started freaking out,
Yeah.
and they were like, Doomsday looks. That's when everybody but Rick said Doomsday looks awful.
Okay, we have to get the Rick shot in.
Yeah, and you know,
so
and that's when all that stuff started happening. Like, oh, it's in trouble. Oh,
That's
this.
right.
Oh, it's
You're right.
that. And we had to start doing podcasts to like do damage control and be like, no, let's give it a shot. And then we saw how it turned out. So.
No, you're right.
But to that end, originally you guys weren't as harsh on the film.
No, it's on record. You can go back. We were excited and had an open mind. Basically,
Yeah, you were.
It was pretty. Everyone was pretty pumped. What I'm hoping for Flash, going back to Flash, I really want John Francis Daley and I think it's Jonathan Goldstein. Yeah, who did Game Night. I want them to do this movie.
I really liked Game Night.
Yeah,
I was into it.
Yeah, I think they have a good tone, and I'm like, let's get them on this movie. Let's not waste that because.
And here's the thing: like the Flash doesn't have to be even as dark as Game Night was at certain points. You know, like at certain points, this comedy was pretty twisted and it was crazy. But the Flash doesn't have to be that. But you can see like if they can balance that with like a Spider-Man tone, I think you fit where Barry Allen lives.
Well, I was just thinking today, like it's kind of interesting how much work and hardship they had to go through to get to Justice League. But this December on TV, we're going to get a crossover with Superman and the Flash and Green Arrow and
Can we talk about that?
and Batwoman.
the
everybody.
DC crossover? The Arrow
yeah,
crossover?
it's insane.
I'm actually really pumped for that, man.
And dude, how many Flashes are we going to see? Like John Wesley Shipp is.
And John Wesley Shipp's Flash from the 1990s.
He's coming
like
back.
Holy crap!
His Barry Allen's coming back.
I saw that.
Yeah, they're doing crazier stuff there than like they would ever dream of doing in the movies right now.
I
they
thought
build
it was
up a lot of
manipulation,
goodwill.
man. I thought it was a manipulation at first, like some type of like fan, like boss logic.
No, and
thing.
it's real.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
And oh, dude, that pulled me
So
in, dude.
smart.
That pulled me in. I'm like, you're
Really
gonna bring
quick, I've loved Arrow so far this year, but we don't need to go into Arrow. But I've loved it.
Arrow's been really good this year. It's only 2 episodes in,
Right.
but man, it's like a whole different show. It's cool.
Yeah, I need to watch.
And they changed their flashback stuff. Well, they had flashbacks for 5 seasons. They got rid of them in season 6. It was just like a show.
Yeah.
And then slight spoilers from this current season until the show's over. It's flash forwards.
Yep.
Like oh my god, it's super good. Yeah.
You have failed the city. Hey, speaking of which, I still have a Green Arrow lapel pin.
Nice.
So, what about? I haven't watched Flash yet. Anybody?
I haven't
Flash?
either.
No.
It's good. I mean, it's more Flash. They brought her the Flash's and a daughter in. Yeah, she comes from the future and the Flash is like missing. Like he never came back, so she got raised without him.
Is it
So
better
they're
than
trying to
last
solve
season?
that.
Yeah, already, yes.
I mean, it's only 2 episodes in, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nothing will be
Flash is
season
gone,
2.
though.
Season 2 will always be like the holy grail of the Flash for me.
Yes.
Yeah, season 2 was great.
And they said Zoom's coming back in episode 100.
I mean,
nice.
what's it? Teddy Sears. That man is amazing. What he did. I mean, I felt his Jay Garrick, and then he sold out on me. And he turned into. I mean, season 2. I will always love season 2 of the Flash. Always.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
It's great.
It is. This season is already better because
it's better than the last 2.
I had a drinking game like every time. Like take a drink every time you hear DeVoe.
I was so over DeVoe.
It was it was awful.
Bell Biv DeVoe. Eric got it.
Of course.
I mean, it wasn't to the point where Gotham was, where I had to stop watching.
Oh
it,
no.
At least the Flash, you get through it.
You can watch that.
I feel the same way about Supergirl too. I love that show. Unlike some people named Eric.
It's garbage.
Supergirl is amazing.
Garbage.
Eric hasn't watched it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Straight trash garbage.
I'm gonna.
They
cut
could
that out,
improve
Joe.
on Superman's shoulders and his boots, and those are my biggest complaints.
Oh man.
No, that Supergirl's
The shoulder
really
straps
good.
I
And
don't like. I've
Dude,
never liked
it's
them. I
an-
didn't like them in Injustice either.
It's an important show for them to have. And
You're
It's
right.
a great show.
They're
It's
doing it.
fantastic.
You are correct. I think it's good that they have a female superhero on television. I think that's great. I don't care for the show, but that doesn't mean I don't want it on TV.
Yeah.
okay. Sheriff Holzmann.
Jeez, Eric.
No, I'm the prosecutor. You're the sheriff. That's how this works.
Sheriff Haas.
Sheriff Haas.
No one on Twitter dispenses justice better than Sheriff Haas.
You
That
crack them
includes
down,
how
I
many
question
Batman
them,
accounts.
and then we put them away.
There you
That's
go.
how it goes. It's perfect.
I keep having this question. I can't get it in. Is Kid Flash still on Flash?
I believe they are minimizing
he's done.
him.
He's done.
I don't think he's on good contract negotiation thing.
Well, he was on. He wanted to leave, and he wanted to leave the Flash, and he left the Flash and went on to Legends.
Why did he want to leave the Flash?
Because he was like,
they weren't giving him screen time, bro.
No, he's like discovering himself and stuff, and that's what they were doing in the show. And he's like, I need to leave. I need to find myself. And so he goes to like this monastery.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Flash.
Yeah, he goes to this monastery, and basically the actor wanted to do more stuff, and they were saying it was hard to have like basically two Flashes
because
on the
they
same
had to
show.
have Vibe emerge as this superhero.
Yeah,
they didn't, because they rushed in the Kid Flash. They should have waited.
They did.
Yep.
So then they took him from Flash and they put him in Legends, but then the actor himself was like, I think I just want to leave for a while, and so they wrote him out of the show. And it's funny, they even addressed it on the season premiere or the second episode, or the first episode of Legends this year. They were like, "Where's Wally?" He's like, "Wally's off finding himself again. Like, didn't he already do that? He keeps doing that or something." They kind of like poke fun at like Wally West keeps him leaving.
In Legends, I will say, Heatwave is amazing with his comedic timing. He's actually a very funny character and very witty.
It's funny that I was surprised that, because I thought in the first season, like I'm like, they'll have to get rid of him like soon, because
he's my favorite character on the show.
Well, just because of the nature that he's a villain, like how long can he last with the team? But like he's one of the best characters.
Yeah, he is.
I would say my biggest issue with the Flash in general is just the lack of Captain Cold and Heatwave and Top and Mirror Master. Like those, the main rogues gallery is not very present. Meanwhile, like there's other characters who have taken over for like seasons.
It's just metas, yeah.
And I do miss, like, even
it would have been cool if they had like a giant like rogues like come
at some point.
They've been there and they've done cool stuff.
They've been there for a couple
Mark
episodes.
On. The Trickster stuff has been really cool.
It's been few and far between. I wish it was a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. Like I like those guys the most, but I get it. I like what they did with the Top. That was great, and I love the Top.
Yeah, Cold's dead though, right? Didn't he sacrifice himself?
He did, but then they brought in another
version.
Earth's version of him.
Yeah.
From Earth, the Crisis on Earth X stuff.
Citizen,
but then that actor wants to
Cold,
Citizen Cold, yeah. But he wanted off the show too.
Wentworth Miller.
He's a great Cold. He really is.
He was good.
I like him I like how his delivery was really good. Like the first time he was Cold, I was like, well,
he found a good angle.
But then I got what he was doing. So, anyways. All right, what about, so you guys mentioned it. We didn't talk about this. Freaking Future Bane from the future. What do you guys think about Future Bane, guys?
No, it's past Bane.
It's past Bane. Whatever. I'm calling him Future Bane. He looks like a time traveling Bane.
Dude, somebody said he looks like he had a toaster on his chest. I was like, yeah, it kind of does. Ryan pointed out he's got like he's got something on his legs. He's
got some digital markings on his pants, and Justin said it looked like Mad Max Origins Immortan Joe. Yeah. Basically,
someone on Twitter called him Sleep Apnea Bane.
What? They've done that thing. They've done not well. His looks aside, and he looks terrible. They've done the thing in the show where they're like, "We're gonna do the comic book Bane," but really he's gonna break Alfred's back, and that's not like the comics. And his name is Edward Dorrance, and he was a old army buddy of Jim Gordon, and he's gonna transform into Bane through the season. I'm like, did you read the comics, guys? Like at all?
Yeah.
It's not the character at all. It's just in name only, and he's gonna be, I guess, what they decide.
But he
Bane
looks
is.
horrible. Hard with that vest.
What if they?
And that's kind of what they've done for a lot of the characters, just like whatever they've wanted.
There's been so much fan backlash. They're going to change it now. They're going to make it a more comic based watch.
I doubt it.
He's going to evolve over time. Yep.
Gotham they're going to do what Gotham wants to do.
They've
already shot it. Probably they can't go back.
Justin asked me, like, if it looked more like Bane, would you actually watch it? And I was, yeah. If he looked like he came out of like, with his wrestling mask and his like, if he looked like Bane from the animated series, I totally would watch it.
Yeah.
But he just like that doesn't. He looks like you said, Emotion Joe. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll take that without the dog collar, like from the later episodes. But like,
I like that version.
It's a great version, but I would cut out on.
I mean, it's funny. They're just gonna start doing stuff in this last season of Gotham to make things like more like how they're supposed to end up. I saw one shot of all the main characters, like in battle gear or whatever, and the Penguin had or Oswald had his eye was he had bandages and stuff around his face, around his eye. So I'm like, oh, okay, his eye got damaged, so he's gonna need a monocle. They're doing that kind of stuff.
Are they putting him in a fat suit?
Well, he said, the last episode of the series is going to take place 10 years later.
Oh, really?
And yep, and they said I think the opening of the season takes place 10 years later, or at the end of No Man's Land. Actually, at the end of No Man's Land, and they're going to show the opening of the season takes place at the end of No Man's Land, and then they're going to, and that's a flash forward, I guess. Then they're going to flash back and have the whole 9 episodes lead up to that point. And then for the final episode, they're going to jump forward 10 years into the future. And that. Penguin's going to be fat.
That's good.
And I think they've said that they can use Batman and all that. So we'll see to what extent.
I mean, of course they can use them. I can't see why they wouldn't. If it's the last episode, then I can't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like Smallville got more leeway on their last episode. So
someone told me that there was a rumor that Gotham might be going to the DC app after this season.
It probably.
I don't see how they. I don't see how they would.
No?
I mean, it would go there. They wouldn't make new episodes.
Right. That's what I said to him because he was telling me. I'm like, it'll go there.
So does that mean they're going to pull this stuff off Netflix now and force me? They're really going to force you to buy the app?
I don't know if they'll do that. It depends on what the contract.
Because I believe Disney did it with their movies for Disney Movies Anywhere. You can watch.
But
they're pulling them off Netflix.
Yeah, we'll see.
We can talk later, Pete. I'll talk.
But,
are you being cryptic?
I am.
You're not going to answer me. Okay.
It's the week for it, so I'm gonna be cryptic. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. No one ever wants to tell me anything.
No, I'm sorry. Right. It's not something I should put out there in public. So I have to hold this one tight.
Anyways, all right.
So I'm for Gotham. It's just if they're ending it, and they're jumping 10 years into the future.
It's done.
It's done. They're not going to make more.
Yeah. I think they wanted. I think they went. They're like, dude, we got to get Batman off TV. I don't know if that's part of it or if they're like.
No, it's been 5 years and the ratings and they need to justify having the show.
Like, I feel like this show has so many fans. I feel like I'm the minority that doesn't like it. To be honest,
it does, but to carry, but on a major network like Fox, like the CW shows, that's their own little niche or whatever, and the pressure is a lot greater on a network show.
To me, what the creators of Gotham did, and what they decided to do with the show was say, you know what, we're gonna push this as far as we can. And people are going to love it, and they have that little niche market that does like that stuff. So that's what they did, and they stuck with it. I give them credit for sticking with it. It's not the show I thought we were getting when it first came out. I thought we were getting like a GCPD type thing where we would have had
Gotham Central.
Right, Gotham Central. But, I mean, it's hard to do a show about Gotham not having Batman involved. And the show became about young Bruce, Alfred, and Batman. And that's why that was actually the storyline that I was following. I didn't care about Gordon anymore before I stopped watching Gotham.
Right.
I didn't give a damn. I was like, where are we going with Bruce?
Right.
And that's all I cared about. So what they did with Gotham, once they realized, okay, the show, people are clearly more interested in this, they just pushed it and kept pushing it. And it's out there. The show has always been out there, but I lost interest for me. But hey, it still has a strong, following, and
once Jerome appeared, I was like, no.
But
that was like,
and it's weird.
Like
I have friends,
and that was a long time ago.
I have friends who actually like that portrayal of the Joker.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
not me. Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I just think it's stupid.
There's a lot of people, and I'm surprised because to me, I'm kind of like, well, the theatrical stuff is kind of cool, but the character. I don't know what the purpose of the character is really. Instead of just saying, "Oh, we have a version of the Joker and we're gonna put him in there." But yeah, I'm really surprised that the show has gone on as long as it has.
Yeah. So one of the things I was thinking, and it may not be true, but it's just like they want to get Gotham off so that they can maybe introduce more Batman stuff into the DC universe apps. Just because if you watch episode 3 of Titans, there's a lot of Bruce Wayne in there.
That's
he's
they
very,
can't show him.
No, they can't. but they have him standing in like shadow, and there's one part, dude.
I haven't caught episode 3 yet, so I'm assuming kill me.
I watched.
He looks very. It looks like Affleck's stunt double, dude. Seriously, like
it looks like Rich Citrone.
What's interesting is like episode.
Afflecky.
Shout out to Rich Citrone, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's what's funny about that is like I watched episode 3 of Titans last night, and you know a lot of the stuff that Rick Shue in his article about like this is how to do Robin in live action. Like a lot of that stuff is in that episode. You know what I mean?
What did you think of episode 2? Like the warehouse scene in episode 2. Like,
well, that warehouse scene doesn't hold a candle to BBS.
It doesn't, but like you get like you get vibes
from
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like
it was good.
Obviously different budget, but like.
And what did you think about what they were going to do to Hawk? Huh?
Yeah,
that's pretty much pushing.
Oh yeah,
pushing it right over the edge.
Well, then what Robin does like later,
right?
Yeah, that was nuts.
But spoilers. In episode 3, you get a lot of surprising amount of Dick Grayson like flashback.
Yeah, I watched
stuff.
Like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. I fell asleep. It's terrible to say that, but I did fall asleep.
And it was good except for the it's probably the worst CG I've seen in a show in a long time, where Dick Grayson jumps out of a window in Wayne Manor and does acrobat tricks around the trees and stuff. It was worse than like the Spider-Man learning he's Spider-Man in Spider-Man 1 stuff.
So you're telling me O'Donnell doing laundry was better?
Yes,
dude.
I like that scene. I'm sorry, I do.
Laundry karate is awesome.
Laundry, and then what did he do? He did the silverware shuffle when he slides into the stair for the back gate. Yeah, I call it the silverware shuffle.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Intruder alert!
But yeah, I thought episode 3 was really good for Titans. I'm starting to like Starfire now.
Yes,
like
right?
Just because they're dipping into some of the alien stuff, and you're getting this like, oh, she doesn't know, she's gonna end up.
She's very clueless. It's almost like she's got amnesia. She's figuring it out.
The actress is really good too.
Yeah,
she is really good in this role. I've never heard of her before.
She's probably the best actor on the show.
Yes.
In episode 2, when she like fully goes like Starfire at one point, and like it sells you on it. You're like, okay, that's what Starfire does look like. She does turn orange.
Watch
I don't think that's
3.
episode 2, dude. I think that's episode 1, man.
Yeah.
Was it episode 2? Was it
episode 2? Is
she's not in episode 2?
But watch episode 3.
I have to.
You'll see more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the app.
Yeah, get the app. It's fucking great.
Get the app in quotations. Get the app.
Yeah. Francesca's app?
It's great. But dude, yeah, and watch the Bruce Wayne stuff, dude. I'm telling you, man. They Bruce Wayne, dude. When they show him in the shadows, there's 2 scenes where I'm like, they're inferring Affleck's shape, dude. I mean, this is a big Bruce Wayne. That's all.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
I'm not saying they're trying to say it's BVS. I'm not saying that at all. That's obviously.
Dude, what if Affleck comes back for Titans?
That would be so stupid.
What if they're using Titans to reboot the universe?
Oh, that's it. That's how it's done.
See, I told you.
Oh, that's it.
No, man.
And then Cyborg. Oh, because they have Cyborg in this too.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyborg's coming.
Dude. I can't believe it.
What's interesting is like, you know, like episode 1 is like Titans, episode 2 is Hawk and Dove, episode 3 is Titans, episode 4 is Doom Patrol,
right?
Which I thought that was later in the season, but I guess not. I guess this is their backdoor pilot for Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Is the very next episode.
I really dug the Hawk and Dove episode. I really got into Hawk and Dove, and I did not like them. They're just so insequential in comic books. It's like, okay, Hawk and Dove, but in the show, you're like, I like these guys.
Well, because Minka Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, she looked. Yeah,
I
she
agree
looked good
with
with
Justin.
her blue mask.
The only thing with her, she just didn't have she wasn't enough of a pacifist. I'm like, she's like very gentle spirited, but like she's out there like Zack Snyder and people, dude. Like that's just not her character, dude. To be doing that, you know.
You're doing it again, Justin. You're doing it again.
You keep comparing it to BVS.
They are not.
But that's the fighting style was very.
Yeah, Mr. Warehouse scene.
yeah. So it's it's definitely an homage to those things that we've seen and loved from some of the Snyder movies, but that's just not Dove's MO. And so for me, that was the one thing that was like, oh, okay, well, I guess she's. You know,
well, neither is F Batman and a bunch of other crap. Or
those
Starfire burning people to death.
Yeah,
are those like the only liberties that you really have issues with, and like overall you enjoy it? Those are just like certain nitpicks.
Yeah, I mean,
is that what you're saying?
Of course, I think fandom it implores nitpicks. I think that's part of it. Like,
you're not wrong for nitpicking. No.
Yeah. If I was gonna be in charge of this show, I would look at what's true to the character. Like, and that's different to a lot of people. But I feel like for Dove, that side of her is important. Instead of like, let's kill everyone, let's break some knees, And so, like, to me, that's like, okay, well, you and Hawk are the same. Like, there's supposed to be the differences, So
well, let's see how the character goes.
Check out Justice League Unlimited, man, for a great Hawk and Dove episode. It's the brother version though. It's not the the boyfriend girlfriend version, but it's his brother, and it's voiced by the Wonder Years brothers.
Oh yeah. That was such a smart idea.
Jason Hervey and
Fred Savage, right?
And they're reversed. So Jason Hervey is Dove, and Fred Savage is
No.
Hawk. Yeah, they reversed the attitudes. So, anyways, it's a great
I'll check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It's really it's on the app. Go check it out. But yeah. Anyways, I'm thinking Titans is going to progressively get better. I didn't think it was bad, but for me personally, it didn't hit where I wanted it to hit, and I felt some of the unnecessary angst was there, and then there's some dumb stuff like the cop, the detective partner, his new partner. I was like, she's stupid. Why is she here? She's just gonna die. And then spoilers, she just dies. She dies. And
no, I was more into because they devoted so much screen time to her. I was like, okay, she's interesting. Or is she going to have like a relationship with Dick Grayson? Or
she was not interesting, dude. She was the most.
Well, no, like I was like, she's so uninteresting. There's got to be something behind her story because they keep
she's
showing her
obviously
so
a villain.
Dude,
what is she doing?
All she was a puppy dog, dude. For you to go.
Well, because I was thinking like, oh, is she going to like
someone's got to die to create motivation? And
exactly.
Well, I just kept thinking like, oh, is she going to like suspect that Dick Grayson's like, that he's like got Rachel and stuff, and it's like she's going to be on his tail trying to like think that he's like a
No, she was just there to say you're a jerk, and then go, you're actually not a jerk, and then
because they had the whole scene with just her, and like she was like joking with the corner guy and all that. And I was like, oh, okay.
So stuff like that. I was like, just unnecessary setups. And again, it was the pilot, so they may have thought, oh, she sucks, let's just kill her. I don't know, man. Like, it's just, but I'm letting the show play out, and I'm liking it. Yeah. Especially, I think episode 3 was the strongest of the ones I've watched. So
that's good to hear.
Yeah. It is progressing nicely. I would say.
Eric, isn't it very favorable on Rotten Tomatoes as well?
Yeah,
it's certified fresh. In fact,
it is certified fresh.
People are in.
It's better than a lot of DC stuff lately.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's very true.
It's funny how DC TV seems to always seem to work. It's
or gets the leeway or something. There's something to it. Even though Titans is clearly not for everybody.
No, but it's still
just like BVS is not for everybody. Right. But for some reason, Titans is like certified fresh.
Yeah.
It's a version that people, I guess, have never gotten, so it's what they want to see. I mean, that's how I would chalk it up to. If like,
I think it's just people love Robin. To be honest with you, we haven't gotten a whole lot of Robin, so then you get a little bit, and it's kind of like, okay, this is cool, and like
we're gonna get 2 Robins too.
Yeah, and he's not walking around in yellow underwear and green Speedo, and it's sure it's a little violent. Crazy is like people love Robin.
What's funny is like, and I don't think we're going to get anything like this, but I'm like, man, because it is a slightly more realistic and gritty world. I'm like, man, I want to see like the Joker in this. He would be like freaking brutal. I would rather see the Joker in Titans I would rather see Joker in Titans than in like Gotham. Because
we might get him.
I'm just
who knows. I don't know how off limits those
we're getting
things
Jason
are.
Todd, so
like
that's a good point.
And Jeff Johns said they're gonna do the Lex Luthor Superboy stuff in Titans.
That's exciting.
He said that.
That is exciting.
He said that's what he wants.
Well, if they're doing that, then they better do Tim Drake too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they have to kill Jason Todd unless they do everything in flashback shadow. Like. There was a guy who killed him, and it's just,
I'm really interested.
Well, they can talk about it. They mentioned the Joker. Didn't they mention the Joker in episode 1?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yes,
I think they did.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they can say his name.
So here's something I brought up on the Let's Go comic show is, do you think, because Donna Troy's in this universe and stuff already, you see a picture. You see a picture of, do you think that there was already a Teen Titans? And now this is the second iteration of the team.
I think that's the insinuation, kind of.
Like Dick's gonna be like, "Hey guys, I was a part of the Teen Titans," and they're like, "No man, we're just Titans." Like, yeah. Do you think there's gonna be some? Because there's already history to this.
So you think
universe.
so?
Right.
If you had to guess,
right.
like, so you're assuming that there's a Teen Titans before the Titans.
Yes.
So then it's already Donna Troy and Dick Grayson, but who else? So then is possibly
Wally West.
Cyborg. Oh, Wally could be out there. That'd be great. I wish he was here, but I like that idea.
No, Cyborg is the second iteration, so it wouldn't have been Cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah, Cyborg came in with Raven and Starfire when that iteration came. He wasn't in the original team was Robin,
Kid Flash,
Kid Flash, Wonder Girl.
Aqualad. Speedy. I wonder what this Speedy be like.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, dude, is
in this world, this Speedy's already hooked on heroin.
Right? Yeah.
You know, like let's be honest.
He has heroin arrows, dude. He just shoots. He
shoots himself.
But I wonder even if they even bring those characters into it because they are so close to what Berlanti's already done. Yeah.
Oh man. And then what if they like if they do what you said they did with the Bruce Wayne Affleck? What if they did that with Aquaman? What if at some point you see an Aqualad and then in the shadows is just long haired, gigantically buff, you know, like and then you're like, well, they're not really hiding it anymore. If that it'd be funny if it happened.
My man, all right, yeah, often never learn. So, okay, let's get out of Titans. Let's finally talk about Wonder Woman 1984 moving. What do you guys think, man? That was a hot mess this week.
It moved a few months in the future.
Yeah,
it was supposed to come out in November 2019, and now it comes out in June of 2020. So I have no issues with that.
I mean. It makes sense,
if anybody
dude.
it makes sense, and it's one of those moves that is clearly a scheduling. It's better for business kind of move, right?
Yeah, we don't want to be.
And Warner Brothers has done that before, even for films that are in
like
productions.
BVS.
Yeah, they've done it for BVS
twice.
But, I mean, and they've done it for some Harry Potter movies as well. They moved Harry Potter, famously moved Harry Potter 6 just for business reasons. Like it was ready, it was done, 100% done, ready to go, and they moved it. So this is one of those. Like if you think that they're retooling the story or doing a bunch of reshoots to completely change it, like don't even go there.
It's gonna be Flashpoint.
No,
that's so crazy.
That was ridiculous.
It's Wonder Woman point.
It was, that was ridiculous. Like I don't know
where did that rumor come from.
It came from Grace Randolph.
Who cares?
So
yeah,
I mean,
she's out there.
Yeah. It just and then people give her credibility. And here's the thing. I guess there's been times where she's right or wrong. She's been right. I don't know anything about. I don't follow. Grace Randolph.
I think it's one of those context things. Like, if you think that Patty Jenkins is going to let her movie get retooled to tie into some crossover Flash thing, boy, you're wrong.
Is that kind of what she fought for when she got this gig too? Like she didn't want, like Snyder had his influence on her movie, and she kind of fought not to have influence.
She
on her
fought
movie.
to have Final Cut, and she got it.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel like James Wan has done.
He
with
did
Aquaman.
the same thing. Yes.
They're like, we saw how these things turned out.
And Patty Jenkins, and before she signed on for Wonder Woman 1984, she had pretty good negotiations in terms of like, what she was going to get for the movie and things like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a sure thing. I remember them saying she might not be back to do the second one. So she clearly used the leverage and said, well, hey, I gave you the biggest hit you've had so far. So, and
trust.
Yeah.
The date for me is like great. I'm like, this is better. It's a summer. It's a summer flick. Like this is what we want. Yeah. This is the big tentpole movie you wanted this summer.
Yeah.
So
and then you saw Bill had an article on BOF too about like, well, let's get Batman in the summer too.
Yeah.
Which I agree with.
Great. Like, I know Star Wars has changed the game, like owning December the way it has recently, but like there's so much going on in December. Like I'm gonna have trouble seeing Aquaman. I'd much rather have a movie come out in the summer.
I still think it's possible Aquaman gets bumped up a couple weeks. I hope it does.
It's so close to Christmas.
I think it's still possible.
I mean,
they can move it,
dude. Because I actually think Bumblebee's gonna have some numbers, dude.
Yeah.
I think Bumblebee's going to be pretty good. I think just
so.
on the look alone.
Family-friendly Transformers, so like those.
And they finally look like the Transformers.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. I've only seen the Michael Bay, the first one, and then a little bit of the Marky Mark one because it was on Netflix.
Bad.
That's it. That's all I've
Michael
seen.
Bay ones.
Well, I meant the first. Sorry, I was trying to.
But like
the
that hologram of Optimus Prime alone is going to make the money.
Oh, dude. Give me all.
Just see that in 3D. I'm paying that for 3D, man.
There's in the latest trailer. The latest trailer, you see him. You see Optimus Prime.
Brian, it's amazing.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, Volkswagen's like, okay, you can use our likenesses now. Like that's why he was in a Camaro, because they're like, Transformers are violent, Volkswagens aren't violent.
Really, I didn't know that was the reason. Seriously,
yeah, that was it.
I thought Bay just used cool
Volkswagens
cars.
aren't violent.
Wow.
Camaro was like, we'll jump in there, dude. You can murder people with our cars.
I want a DeLorean Transformer.
Oh my gosh, and it's voiced by freaking Doc Brown,
Christopher Lloyd.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I would love that.
I just want Jazz back. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, just peeing everywhere. All right, so with Wonder Woman, the last rumor I want to kill, and this is the dumbest one, is maybe they're setting her up to be a part of the Joker's universe because they're both in the 80s.
What? I haven't heard that.
Dude.
That's so stupid.
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah,
Where
dude.
was this? Where did this come from?
This has been a thing. It's been
This is
around
the thing,
Twitter.
and it was on our Batman on Film Facebook page. It was literally like someone set it up.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
And I was like, come on, bro. And it's a guy, he knows better. I don't want to call him out. I'm just going to say, dude.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
But you call me on the counter?
So just some of that stuff, like and I think that's why it's important. Going back to, and this was kind of an email exchange I had this morning with, Bill and Rick and Ryan, is, man, if Warner Brothers had a way of dispersing information that was clearly defined, clearly like...
Don't they have a new show on this stupid app?
Yeah, they have DC Daily on the app.
But it's
all like
it's a self-stroke is all it is. It's like, we're the best. Like, but they had the Bane picture. Look how awesome Bane looks. He's coming for Gotham.
Well,
did they say that?
Yeah,
they didn't say it all like that.
They said, they'll check out this new image of Bane from Gotham. Oh, can't wait to see Bane.
Darth, here's the thing: is like the news that they do on DC Daily is all, they don't break their own news. I've seen unless it's comic book related stuff, But for the movie and TV stuff, it's all just like, this person shared this on Instagram, or this thing broke from EW. Like they only report on news that like breaks from other places.
So they retweet news. Is what
basically.
It would be great if they were like, hey, if you get people on that app, dude, people to buy the app, hey, we're gonna break some of that movie news. What is Affleck in or out, dude? DC Daily. What?
You have to get DC Daily.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my god, dude, they could do like a whole thing about that.
They should
people
totally
buy
do
the
that.
app for that.
Because if they were a little more cutting edge in their programming, instead of like,
they could do like Affleck cam and just put like a drone above his house, and you could see when he walks his dog.
He's reading a script. He has a script.
What are you doing? Oh, dude, there's papers. Paper got delivered to Affleck's front door.
He's getting back in Batman shape again.
Look at that. Cam. He's like,
he did 6 push-ups.
But
look at that chest.
Sucker. You're making babies cry. So look, and then finally, I think Batman. Whenever that comes out, I have no idea. Bill's been cryptic online. What do you guys think? You want Batman to wait longer, or do you want it to come out before 2022?
I want it to come out where it's in the future, where we should be having Batman Beyond instead, but really it's like a throwback, and it's like, whoa.
I just want something that's good and that people are going to enjoy, and that's not going to divide the fan base. Whether that has to come out, if that comes out in 2 years or 5 years or 8 years, like whatever it takes. I want everyone to just rejoice in Batman again, to be honest with you. I just want a good Batman movie. That's really all I want. I don't care when it comes out, but that's
I would like to see it before I'm 50 is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean, take your time and make the best movie you can. If that's what he wants, then fine. I have no problem. I mean,
I just wonder, like, with all the time they've been spending, I just wonder, like, are they really spending all that time on one movie, or are they kind of trying to make it so where they can look to the future a little bit.
Like it's almost like they're smoking a brisket, and it's low and slow right now, and it's gonna take some time, and like maybe it's like 8 hours to 8 years. It's a weird comparison, but it's gonna take time. But you're doing it low and slow, and they're giving this guy time, and they're letting him do his thing, and I think that's better than just being like, well, okay, let's get him in this movie, and then we'll get him in Justice League, and
very true.
It's like did they finally learn their lesson? Let's put it that way.
I like that low and slow. Keep it low and slow.
Keep it low and slow. It's got to simmer before it boils. So we're not even there yet. So
yeah, because I don't care. I don't care about
Justice League was like when you try to make lemonade and you make simple sugar and then you just leave it on the stove and it boils so hard it like hardens into blackness.
I talked to some people.
I'm not going that far. It's more like when you put lemon in water and you put sugar in it and then you claim it's lemonade. That's what Justice League is. It's not boiled into darkness.
I talked to a bunch of dudes last week, and we were talking about movies, and they're talking about Aquaman and whatever, and they're like, I just saw Justice League actually, and I really liked it, man. They were like raving about it. And I was like, really? And I was like, "Would you?" They're all, "Oh, it was just fun, dude. It was good." And I even asked them about like some of the, what'd you guys think about like some of the CGI for Superman? I didn't notice anything. They just said he looked weird in the beginning. So like these aren't like comic book dudes. These are just guys that watch movies, and they were like talking about. I don't know. I forget how we got on the conversation of like Aquaman, but they're like, "Oh, dude, Aquaman looks fun," and I just saw Justice League, and
I wonder though, like. If they're dudes that have just casually seen Justice League a year later, they'll probably just casually see Aquaman a year later, regardless of them saying.
No, but they were like, they were excited to like go see it like in like a couple of months. But
the first thing I said,
go
ahead,
real quick, because I brought up like, well, didn't you like, what did you guys think about Superman like being dead and all that stuff? They're all that was weird. They're all, when did he die? So that was really funny.
There you go.
And
so
I was
you
like,
didn't see BVS?
No, and they said they saw, but it's been a while. They're like, oh, that's right, he died. So it was like this whole. They totally forgot, and so it was really interesting to get. I like when people who aren't like as close as we are talk about it, because you kind of get a different perspective, and they're like, this was good. And so
I agree.
Yeah,
well, the first thing I said after I saw Justice League was exactly what they said. It was fun. Like it's not a great film. I would never say that. It was just fun to watch.
Yeah, it was candy.
Yeah.
Didn't Chris Clow write an article on BOF saying that like Justice League put each character in the right place to actually then go forward?
I don't know if it was BOF or was it BOF or was it movies.com?
I think it was. I don't know. Just go to chriscloud.com.
Yeah,
he has everything. He has everything there.
Chris is awesome.
Here.
So.
Yeah.
But like he basically said, like the end of Justice League left Warner Brothers where they wanted the characters to go from there, and
Exactly.
that
It does, and I think that's what they
happened.
wanted. I mean, that's probably what they wanted more than anything. Like
It does do that.
Regardless of it, transitions from one film to like and putting them in
where they need to be
in spots where they can. Yeah,
I mean, you have the extra credit scene. Obviously, you have the end of the movie where they go into Old Wayne Manor and talk about the Hall of Justice. And
I hated that scene.
Wario Manor.
Huh?
Wario
I call it Wario Manor because if you've seen some of the ads for Justice League where they have like Unite on it, I think it's been on the back of some comics. It's got like all the Justice League standing in like the ruined ashes of like Wayne Manor, and there's like a giant W over the top of the door, and
really?
I swear it looks like the Wario like from Super Mario Brothers. It looks like the Wario logo, like a big stylistic W. I'm like, man, why are they? What are they doing? I was joking on Twitter. I was like, or what are they doing in Wario's castle?
I don't remember. You have to send me that image because I want to see that now.
Yeah.
So all right. So there we go. Well, that was fun, dude. We talked a little bit of DC and Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good show. It was a good fun show. Just like Justice League.
Yeah.
And it's going to send us off to where we need to be.
Yes.
So there we go.
A whole new world.
which is going to be
A whole new world.
another Star Wars satellite show is coming next week. So
oh my gosh! All right,
what are you guys talking about? The new movie?
We've got a special guest.
that's
Jason
right.
Ward from Making Star Wars.
Oh, cool.
That'd be good. That'd be a good
cool.
show. Well, there you go, guys.
I guess you just plugged the next thing.
Yeah, you just plug the next show. Batman BOF 130 will be
130
Star Wars.
Most likely.
Ryan Rick Shu and special guest from Making Star Wars. So there you go. All right, guys, let's get some plugs out of the way. Ryan.
Other than that show, you can find me on the Everyone Loves the Drake podcast, which we should be recording some stuff for that today, I think. So check them out on the Twitter at ELTD Podcast. And just follow me on Twitter at SMB_Ryan. And, man, I am excited for this. Next Tuesday, guys, is Batman Animated Series Blu-ray.
That's right. Even more.
Oh, Ryan's pumped.
Or less
and he's getting 3 Funko Pops.
I couldn't care less about that. But
can you give them to Terrence so he can make Thai videos?
No. No. Don't do that. What if we gave them away on BOF?
Oh, we could do that too.
We could.
I don't know.
BOF.
I'm not telling you what to do with your stuff, but that would be really fun.
I think it comes with a digital code.
Yeah, let's talk off air. We'll talk off air about it.
All right.
Yeah, negotiations.
We'll hammer at those. We'll use the hammers of justice to hammer that out. So, all right, Pete, what you got?
I've got some cool stuff over at BOF on YouTube. Interviews with
Kevin Conroy. That
Tara
was good.
Strong, Lauren Lester for the 27th anniversary and the Blu-ray release as well to tie that in there. Hey. So check those out. Those are really cool. And we will have stuff more. I think I have maybe more stuff to come from that. And next week I will. Next week.
Low and slow, man. Would you say low and slow?
Yeah, my bad. Getting really excited here. Just like talking about nothing. Next week, I'm going to review Deathstroke and Yogi Bear, so that'll be fun.
Hey, hey,
I have no idea what that book's going to be. I don't even know who's writing
Deathstroke.
it. Deathstroke, you got that? Let me get that picnic basket.
I don't know, Yogi.
Can we just do a voice drama for it?
That book's crazy. I got a bunch of other stuff, reviews, all on BOF. Detective Comics we were talking about earlier with Ryan, and just check me out, Twitter, Instagram, at Pete Illustrated, and we'll just, kibitz.
Nice. Kibitz.
What?
Kibitz. We'll just talk, whatever.
That's why it's Frank Terry is writing Jellystone Dark, the Deathstroke story.
Oh, interesting. Oh, he's been doing Harley stuff, so we'll see. He's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, Eric.
Well, you can check my content on BOF. I reviewed the Suicide Squad comic, as Justin said before. I will be having hopefully a couple of op-eds coming out soon. So you can hopefully get a look at those and then comment. Thanks, Ryan. And then, I love the conversation.
I'm sure they'll be good.
Yeah, I love the conversations that come from there, guys. So anytime I put something up, if you disagree with me, of course, come at me there on BOF. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at FinalE33.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, and you can find me on Twitter at J_Rocka, and I like to poke the bear a little bit there. So if you want to come at me, just kidding. If you just want to chat, it'd be fun. And then you can check out.
He loves talking about Dark Knight Rises.
I do. I love it.
Speaking of which, man, I made this tweet last week that was like, retweet this if Dark Knight Rises still holds up.
Yeah, buddy.
And man, I got almost 200 retweets from that thing. So pretty much everybody agrees.
Yeah, easy. I mean, it's easy to when you're fishing with the lowest common denominator. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, you can follow me on Twitter and check out the Let's Go Comic Show because we're talking about comics every week.
Love that show.
Yay! And we just put another episode out, and we actually kind of focused on the Venom movie. We touched a little bit on some current stuff. Yeah, Venom. Yeah, that was. I haven't even seen it, but we talked about we had 2 people that do.
How did you talk about something you haven't seen?
Well,
he's just a moderator.
Matt, my buddy Matt.
Oh, okay.
He's seen it, and we had.
What did Matt think?
He just thought it was okay.
Yeah,
listen to the show.
I love Eminem, but that song is bad.
That song is trash juice, dude. There you go.
Yeah, dude. This movie should have came out in 2002.
That's we kind of went into that. So, anyways, check that out. That is the Let's Go Comic Show episode number 75, which came out yesterday. So, there you go. That was a good show, guys. Thanks for listening. If you guys, again, want to be a part of what we're doing, head to www.patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can just leave us a great review on the iTunes podcast store. And always check out www.batmanonfilm.com because we are authoritative, definitive, and what else are we?
The Dead Gum Original.
Hey now! You've been listening to the Batman on Film podcast, a proud member and the sponsor of the Batman Podcast Network, BatmanPodcastNetwork.com. You can listen to the BOF podcast on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, TuneIn, and wherever good podcasts like this one can be found. Want to advertise on the BOF podcast? Go to advertisecast.com/the Batman on Film Con podcast. Follow Jet on Twitter at Batman on Film and on BOF's Facebook fan page at facebook.com/jet.batmanonfilm. Email Jet via jet@batman-on-film.com. For Jet, Rick, Justin, and Ryan, I'm announcer Rachel. Thanks for listening.
Hey,
Adrian,
Sylvester Stallone as Yogi Bear. Hey,
so basically, they're pretty related.
The picnic basket. Sometimes I'll pick them up. I'll take them to the gym. Hey, I'll beat the hell out of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Talk about Rick in your Stallone voice.
Hey, Rick Shue. He's kind of a Mama Luke. I see him walking down the street. I'm like, hey, you want to get in the ring? We'll go a couple rounds. You want to just keep running your mouth about Star Wars? I'm like, hey, man, I don't know about who this Jabba the Hutt guy is, dude. He sounds like a bad dude, but hey, just come on in and talk to my boy Paulie, and then maybe, I don't know, we'll do something about it, all right? But lay off the Star Wars talk all the time. You seem it's like some type of you got a problem or something, Like I don't know. Come over here.
What's happening?
He does love Creed though.
Hey, Creed's a good kid, man. You go a couple rounds. And then Arnold shows up and he says, Rick Shue, he's kind of a girly man. Yeah, get to the chopper. What type of a guy slips on muddy stairs? I walk in the mud all the time. When I was fighting the predators in the
Rick needs
jungle.
to be on a show to defend himself.
Rick can't defend himself. He's like Candy.
He's like little baby.
Oh, we can just go all day, dude. We can spin a wheel of this.
Oh my lord.